What is up, YouTube? How's everybody doing today? This is Everything is Tech here from everythingistech.com, and it's also wallpapers.net. And in this video, I have my review of the Fujifilm FinePix F505 digital camera. This is a really nice digital camera that I picked up for about 170 bucks. So for the price, it's a really nice camera. And I'm going to be covering a lot of things about this camera, including what you get in the box, and how the camera feels in my hands, how the pictures come out, how the video is, and all the good stuff about this camera. So with this camera, you get several accessories that you probably do get with any other camera. You get the camera itself, obviously. You also get a manual that also tells you how to use the camera and some warranty information, and as well as it gives you software for managing your photos. You also get a wall outlet charger, of course, with the battery itself, and you get a few cables, a USB cable and your TV connection cable, and that's pretty much it for what you get in the box. So for the $180 price point on this camera, I think it has some fantastic features. For example, this camera does take 16 megapixel photos, and honestly, if you ask me, I don't think 16 megapixel on a digital camera is really necessary. But if you have it, it's always a benefit to have. This camera also has the capability of 15 times optical zoom, and with that optical zoom, you can really get a really nice distance as far as zooming goes. So if you don't zoom at all, if you just turn the camera on, you start with 24 millimeters, and the angle is actually a wide angle lens if you don't zoom in at all. So that means you can have a really nice background that's blurred out a little bit, and your subject will be in focus. That will look really nice. And then when you start zooming in, you're going to start, of course, losing the quality once you start getting into the optical zoom. But this can go all the way up to 360 millimeters with the optical zoom, which gives you a really nice and long range. Besides that, you also have a full 1080p HD video recording on this camera built in, which is always a fantastic thing to have, HD video recording. And you also have a software in this camera built in that allows you to have a face detection, so you can actually detect people's faces, and it'll actually sharpen the faces if you need it to. And then in the back, you do have the whole 3-inch screen, which is always a benefit to have. So taking a really quick look at the camera itself, here you have the Fujifilm logo. Then right next to that you have the grip, which I really like because it really helps all those people with long hands to have a really nice grip on the camera. And then over here on the top you have some lights, and when this light goes off, it's a red light. It indicates that your camera is about to start taking a photo or start taking video. Then over here you have the lens, and then inside this camera is a CMOS lens sensor, which is kind of a high quality lens sensor. And then you have some information about the camera over here. It tells you that it is 16 megapixels. Then on the top over here you have the zoom information. All the way on the top over here you have the flash. To initiate the flash, all you have to do is turn the camera on, and the flash pops up right like that. And if you want to actually not use a flash, you can just press down on it and hold it or something, and it just goes in. There you go, or something like that. And then you can just turn it off if you want to have the flash out. Then on the top over here you have the on and off button. Then you have the shutter button, which allows you to take your photo if you click on it. And then over here on the back you have your different types of options for taking photos. So if we go ahead and turn the camera on, the EXR pretty much allows you to have like it's like an EXR mode, and the camera just picks the settings that it feels best for the situation. Then you have programmable option, which allows you to just change the shutter speed and everything. The S also allows you to go with automatic, and it only allows you to customize the shutter speed. Then the A allows you to just go with automatic, and it just has the user settings, and you can customize more options in that. And there's a lot of modes you can choose from the camera. Also, under the different mode settings, you have the button to allow you to view your photos. So you can just click on that. The camera turns on. I don't know why it's not doing it right now. I guess you hold down or something. The camera just pretty much turns on and allows you to view your photos. Or you can also click on this button while you're taking photos to view your recent photos and videos you've taken. This is when it allows you to initiate taking video. It doesn't matter what mode you're in. If you click on this button, it will start taking video. And remember, you can customize whatever type of the quality the video comes out to. But the maximum quality you can get from this camera is 1080p, 1920 by 1080 by pixels, and then you have 30 frames per second. And over here you have your other different buttons, which allow you to change the exposure and turn on the flash, and start continuous shooting. And then all the way over here you have your 3-inch display, which is a really nice display. I think Fujifilm could have done a little bit better because I mean it attracts a lot of fingerprints and you have to constantly clean this out. But as you can see right from the video, this doesn't look that clean. And I mean, I really don't like that about this screen. It attracts a lot of fingerprints. But besides that, I think the build quality of this camera is really nice. So let's go ahead and turn the camera on really quick. It takes a really few amount of seconds to just get the camera going and on to the actual interface where you can shoot your photos. So in the interface, I think it's alright. I don't think it's the greatest interface I've ever seen on a camera, but I guess it can get the job done. So if you really want to do any sort of changing of the settings, you can just go to menu and then you can choose from all these different modes. You can go with the image quality, and you can go with fine, normal. Normal I guess is the best. Then you can also have a film simulation, which allows you to choose from different types of settings like black and white and stuff like that. You also have movie AF mode, which allows you to show or actually allows the camera to focus, and you can choose with center. So if the camera or the subject is in the center of the camera, it will focus during the movie. And then the movie mode allows you to choose from these different options, and of course the lowest amount is 320 by 112, which is, I mean, ridiculous. It's a really bad resolution. And then you can go all the way to 920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second. And then here you can really customize almost every aspect of the camera. You can go to image quality, and you can choose from fine, normal, and there's just so much you can do with the camera and the interface. And to me, honestly, it did get a bit confusing at first, but then you just have to give some time to get used to the interface when you play around with the camera. Then you'll be fine and you'll get used to the interface. Now the last two things I want to do is show the video, and then I just want to wrap up my thoughts, and then I'll have a whole picture slideshow of all the photos I've taken with the camera. So the first thing I want to go ahead and get over with is the video, and this is all video in 1080p, 1920 by 1080 at 30 frames per second, and this has all been shot outside. So to wrap everything up, I think I'm satisfied with the camera. For $180, I don't think you could go wrong with the camera because it's got some really nice features, and especially the 1080p video feature really does give it a really big boost, because $180 and you get a 16 megapixel camera, and 1080p video is pretty fantastic. Now, as far as the features go, it is apparently supposed to be able to shoot raw photos, and I haven't been able to shoot any raw photos. So if you guys are trying to get this camera just so it shoots raw images, don't go for it, because that is really misleading. Because I played around with the camera for a couple hours and I couldn't find any features so I could take raw photos. So always keep that in mind when you go ahead and buy this camera. You cannot take any raw photos. But besides that, I think this camera is really nice. It has some great features, and for the price point, it's a fantastic camera. So this ends my video. Hope you guys really enjoyed the video, and right after this I'm going to have my photo slideshow. And this has been Everything is Tech from everythingistech.com and socialwallpapers.net. And if you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment or message me below.